Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kate, a UX designer and UX design engineer based in Silicon Valley. Today we're diving deep into the world of CSS3, exploring advanced styling techniques for modern web design. Whether you're a beginner or looking to sharpen your skills, this tutorial is for you. Let's get started. Before we dive into advanced techniques, let's briefly touch on what CSS3 is. CSS3 is the latest evolution of the cascading style sheets language, bringing new capabilities and more flexibility to web design. With CSS3, we can create modern, dynamic, and visually appealing websites. Now, let's explore some of these powerful features. First, let's talk about Flexbox and grid layouts. These are game changers for creating responsive and complex layouts. Here's a basic example of Flexbox. We'll start by defining a container and setting the display property to flex. With these few lines of code, we can center our items both vertically and horizontally within the container. Flexbox makes it super easy to handle alignment and spacing. To ensure that the Flexbox and grid layouts display correctly, you need to include HTML structure that demonstrates these layouts. Here are the additional CSS and HTML snippets you can use to test and see the results for both Flexbox and grid layouts. When you open index.html in a browser, you should see the Flexbox layout with 3 centered items and the grid layout with 6 items arranged in a 3-column grid. Adjust the styles as needed to fit your specific design requirements. The HTML file includes sections for both Flexbox and grid layout examples. Each section has a title H2 and a container div with child items. .flex container uses display flex to enable Flexbox, and the justify content center centers the items horizontally. The align items center centers the items vertically, and then the gap 10 pixel adds space between the items. Each dot item inside the Flexbox container is styled with a background color, padding, text color, and font size. For the CSS grid container uses display grid to enable grid layout, and the grid template columns repeat 3, for example, creates 3 equal width columns, and the gap 10 pixel adds space between the grid items. Each .grid item inside the grid container is styled with a background color, padding, text color, text alignment, and font size. Next, let's talk about CSS variables, also known as custom properties. They allow us to store values that we can reuse throughout our style sheet. In this example, we define our variables in the root selector. Then we use them in our .container class. This makes it easy to manage and update our styles. CSS3 also brings powerful animation and transition capabilities, which can greatly enhance the user experience. Here, we use a simple transition to change the background color of a button on hover. Transitions provide a smooth change from one state to another. Now let's take a look at keyframe animation. In this example, we define a slide-in animation using keyframes. The box will slide in from the left over 1 second. Finally, let's talk about responsive design. With CSS3, media queries allow us to create designs that look great on any device. In this example, we can adjust the padding of our container based on the viewport width. This ensures our design adapts to different screen sizes. Now let's do a quick demo on styling a circle in CSS3. Here's our index file. We've linked to our style sheet and created a simple structure with a container and a circle div. We'll start by setting the height of the body and HTML to 100% and removing the default margin. Then we'll use Flexbox to center our container. Next, we'll style the container to make sure it's also using Flexbox to center its contents. Finally, we'll style the circle. We'll give it a width and height of 150 pixels, a blue background color, rounded borders to make it a circle, and a subtle shadow. And that's it. Let's see how it looks. Here we have our beautiful styled circle centered on the page with a nice shadow effect. This is a simple yet powerful example of what you can do with CSS3. So that's it for today's tutorial on mastering CSS3 styling techniques. We've covered Flexbox, grid layouts, CSS variables, animations, and responsive design. I hope you found this helpful and that you're excited to apply these techniques to your own projects. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon. Also, leave a comment below if you have any questions or if there's any specific topic you'd like me to cover next. If you're interested, you're welcome to subscribe to my newsletter. I talk about design, code, and tech lifestyle. Thanks for watching and happy coding.